All right, so one of the things that we're gonna do as a preliminary check is we're gonna check basically the exhaust and the intake for any kind of boost leaks or exhaust leaks. So what I did, blow-off valve is naturally closed, so it's gonna keep this portion off. I'm gonna use the hose from that, which is like 1/4 inch, and then basically put my smoke tester into that and fill the entire cavity, see if we've got any leaks. That'll take care of our intake side. And then for the exhaust, I'll just go plug the rear exhaust tip and then basically smoke test that. So we're gonna do that really quick, rule out any leaks that we have. If we have leaks, we'll fix those, and then we should be good to get this started. Let's go ahead and see if it's making smoke really quick. And it is. So we'll smoke test this for a little bit, see if we've got any leaks. We'll go from there. I don't see any leaks right now, which is good. But we'll give it a couple of minutes to fill up. Look, there's a small leak somewhere. Oh, it's coming out of the turbo. So that's fine. Let's go ahead and put an intake on for now. That's pretty much the only space that it can come out. So. Yeah, everything looks good here. We got no leaks around the intercooler. No leaks on here. Yeah, everything looks good. So let's go ahead and move to the exhaust. For that, I just use a cone adapter, a little rubber that you put into the tailpipe, and then you smoke the exhaust backwards and see if you've got any exhaust leaks. So we're good there. Let's move to the back. All right, so for the tailpipe adapter, we literally just stuff it in there, and you'll see that it kind of closes off the inside, and then we plug into this. So we should be good there. Power, I've got it ran to our distribution blocks in the back, conveniently placed for pretty much anything in the back, and then we obviously had the battery for the front. So go ahead and get this plugged in, and we'll start from there. All right, so we got her plugged in. Let's go ahead and hit start on the smoke mode. And then we'll roll underneath the car to see if we have any leaks, including the turbo aspect. Up top, I do see a little bit of smoke down there, which is at that V-band. Other than that, turbo looks clear. Let's go ahead and check the header aspect. On the header, basically pre-turbo, we've got no leaks. We've got a small one here. I could probably tighten that up a bit. But everything else is decent. You'll notice that it's wet. It's because I put coolant in there. Had a little bit of a leak with the radiator hoses that came with the torque solution hoses. So I replaced those junk worm clamps and went with these T-bolt. So we shouldn't have any more leaks. I did rinse everything off just because coolant is corrosive. So we'll go ahead and tighten up these clamps a bit more, see what we can do to try to minimize any leakage. That's a hefty one. So we'll see what we can come up with. Oh yeah, this V-band's smoking a lot, so unfortunately that is an exhaust leak. Oh, I didn't show you guys, that's the mount that I made for the wastegate dump tube. This thing is very sturdy, so not sure what we want to do with that. That's one of those Mormon clamps, I think they call them, not an actual V-band, which I really don't like. Only real way to solve that is to put an actual V-band on there, which would mean getting rid of this and welding on new flanges. Have a small exhaust leak there. You can see that's kind of not flat. Again, I could swap this over to a V-band and get rid of that smoking area. Yeah, they're pretty much all smoking, so all the flanges. Let's go ahead and see if we can tighten those up a bit. Just to kind of eliminate that, but I don't know how likely we are to get rid of that exhaust leak. Let's give it a shot. We did do the smoke test on the intake and the exhaust. Intake was all good, but as you saw on the exhaust, there was a lot of leaking. I've got a few clamps that I'm not happy with, so we're gonna chop them off and put some V-bands on there. So this is the downpipe, so this V-band is good to the turbo, but then we've got this clamp here, which is not really a V-band. I forget what they call them, but it just does not seal at all. So we're gonna replace that one. And then this is part of the catback. So this goes to that flange will be replaced when we do that one. But then we're also going to replace this 2-bolt flange because these are severely warped. And I really don't like gaskets. If we can get away with using V-bands, that's what I want to do. So these 2 will get replaced. And then this one back, actually I think this one goes on this side. And then this one goes to the last portion of the cap back. So we'll replace all those with the 3-inch V-bands. So these are the quick disconnect ones. So you literally just swing that over, and then you've got the 2 halves here. And these do have the locator steps in them, so those should seal a lot better than the 2-bolt. So we'll go ahead and get these chopped off, and then we'll start welding everything up. We're going to start with tack welding it first, and then once everything fits, we'll finish weld it. All right, so this is how we're going to do it. I've got the back basically all bolted up on the hanger. I've got the V-band slipped on, and then we're just going to push the tube in. For the front, I've got the top just like that on the jack stand with the flange. I do need to add some piping just because I did cut some length off, so we'll go ahead and do that first and then cut accordingly. All right, so I've got that in there resting on the flange, and you can see we're a little short here. It's about 2 1/4 inches that I need, so I'm going to cut off a piece that long, weld it in there, and then we're going to tack those 2 flanges together and make sure we're good to go. So we won't be doing that. We'll use aluminum foil in the flange. We'll feed from this side. All right, so starting from the top, you can see we've got plenty of clearance on the downpipe. We've got our O2 sensor there, and we've got more than enough on both sides. I can put my whole finger through there, so that's good. So everything on the top looks good. Let's go down on the bottom and take a look, see what we've got. All right, so we've got enough clearance between the axle and the downpipe, and then the wastegate tube and the clamp. Everything looks good. It's exactly where it needs to be, and we've got it bolted in. So you can see the other V-band that I've added there. Everything looks good. Lots of clearance, no issues. And then we've got one last clamp down here, which is the factory parent. I just left that one because it's so close to the rear subframe. Just wanted to leave that one. So we are good to go. So we're perfect. All right, so a couple of things that I needed to iron out basically was the input channels. I'm on a tablet here, so it's not as fluent as typical. Oh, we're already here. So basically we've got the manifold, boost pressure, how to lay out all of these different inputs basically to where they are wired in. So since I have a key, we have to make sure that this is on start switch. And then when I was trying to crank it over earlier, it would go for like a half a second and then pretty much stop. And the reason why is this right here. You can set how many seconds you're allowed to crank the engine before it'll cut it off. Primarily you would see that when you have the start and stop button. I just had to increase that so I can build oil pressure. And then also you want to add or edit the engine start RPM. So basically this says, hey, when the engine is at 400 RPM, it's considered started. So it'll cut out the starter. So the other thing, I was having some issues with the throttle body. Quite honestly, I just did not set some of the relays. So it's right here, drive-by relay. So I did not have that set to the correct channel. So basically it was not feeding power. So that's why the throttle body I couldn't get to actuate, but we're all good there now. We should be decent. So if you go to diagnostics, ECU runtimes, you get a brief overview of pretty much all your sensors hooked up. Still got to figure out charge temp. That's not where we want it. And you'll see the other red mark, which is engine oil pressure. We're going to get that where it needs to be. Hopefully today, get that primed up. One of the issues that I did have was I was cranking it and cranking it and cranking it for quite a while. Would not build up oil pressure whatsoever. I did use assembly lube. Obviously there's oil in there. What I ended up having to do, and I haven't fully worked this through yet, we're going to see together if it worked out, but I basically removed the oil filter and then primed the engine until I saw oil come out. I had it drain into a clear bucket, just a little quart, and once I saw oil I stopped, put the filter back on, and then poured the oil back into the engine, and we're here together. We're going to see if we can prime this up and get some oil through everything. Let's get started. We got 2 PSI. Hey, we're building oil pressure. Let's do this again. There we go. We are at 100 PSI. That's exactly what we needed. 100 PSI of oil pressure. We are good to go. All right, so we got some tape to remove. We did the coolant overflow. I did the vacuum, fuel regulator vacuum line. We're gonna finalize that once it's running, but we at least got our base pressure. I got the PCV hose modified. We filled up the engine oil. We did the trans oil. We did the differential oil. We did flush out the gas and put some new ones in there. Got somewhat of base map in there. See if that starts up. We did set our fuel pressure. Filled up coolant, just gotta burp it. We put the OEM cluster in there. I can get this thing out of here. So all we got left is tidy up the ECU, which we'll do once it's running. Steering wheel, again, when it's running, assemble the front end. That's the front bumper and headlights. And then we need an alignment at the very end. So we're very close. We should be good to go to fire this thing up. Let's see if we can get it to start and have it idle for a little bit. All right, well, that's what I've got for this week. Glad we were able to finally get the car started, build up that oil pressure. I do still have some work to do on the base map with my tuner to get that where we need it to be. It's gonna take me a little bit to basically get fueling. As you saw, it was running pretty rich. Try to get that dialed in where we need to go. And then next time we're gonna work on getting the front bumper installed and getting that all cut up for the front mount and hopefully get that all back on the car, get much closer to driving this on the street. We'll catch you next time.